Hello everyone, welcome to again DD Classroom. I hope you all are doing well. Today our subject is General Science, lesson number 1. Topic is Natural Resources, Air, Water and Land, Standard 6. Let's go. Observe the picture alongside and answer the questions. Here is the picture. So let's go for a question and answers. Question number 1. Where do we see the birds? The answer is we can see the birds flying in the sky. Question 2. Where is the cow grazing? And the answer is the cow is grazing on open grassland, means meadow. Question number 3. Locate the trees and the road. Answer is we can see trees alongside of river. We can also see a road along the bank of river. Question number 4. Where does the river come from and how does it flow? Answer is the river comes from the hills. In this picture, river is flowing steadily. Question number 5. Where is the aeroplane? And the answer is aeroplane is flying in the sky. Question number 6. On what is the sailboat floating? Answer is a boat is floating in river water. Let's move. Natural resources. Air, water and land are the factors important for sustaining the living world on the earth and for fulfilling their basic needs. They are called natural resources. You can see that some things in the picture are in water, some on land and some in the sky, that is in the air. Thus, all things on the earth are associated with air, water and land. Air, water and land are called the Earth's atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere respectively. Moreover, different living things occupy these three spheres of the earth. These living things and the part of the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere which they occupy are together called the biosphere. These spheres have formed on the earth naturally. We have learned all this in the previous standards. The atmosphere is the layer of air that surrounds the earth. The surface of the earth comprises water and land, that is the hydrosphere and lithosphere. Of these, the hydrosphere occupies a much larger part than the lithosphere. Figure 1.2 shows the portion of land and water on the Earth's surface. We also look upon these natural components in solid, liquid and gaseous form as resources. In other words, we use them to fulfill our requirements. Let us now study all these three components in detail. Can you recall? What are the 5 layers of the atmosphere? Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, exosphere. Air. The air in the atmosphere around the Earth contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, 6 inert gases, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and dust particles. The troposphere contains about 80% of the total mass of gases in the air, while this proportion is about 19% in the stratosphere. Further, in the mesosphere and ionosphere, the proportion of this mass of gases goes on decreasing. Gases are not found in the exosphere and beyond. You can see that air is a mixture of several gases and is the chief constituent of Earth's atmosphere. Besides these gases, air also contains water vapor and dust particles. The amount of the gases in the air is the greatest near the surface and decreases as we go higher and higher from the surface. That is, air becomes rarer at higher altitudes. The proportions of the constituents of air and some of their uses are given here. Some uses of gases in air. Nitrogen helps living things to build the necessary proteins. It is useful in the production of ammonia and in airtight packaging of foodstuffs. Oxygen, necessary for a respiration in living things and for a combustion. Carbon dioxide, plants use it for producing their food, used in fire extinguishers. Argon, used in electric bulbs. Helium, used for obtaining low temperature and also for generating lift in airships. Neon, used in decorative light and for street lighting. Krypton, used in fluorescent tubes. Xenon, used in flash photography. Always remember, the living world on the earth is sustained due to balance between various gases and other constituents of air. The atmosphere is a very important filter. It allows the light and heat of the sun to reach the earth, which is necessary for life. But it prevents the harmful elements from reaching the earth. It is in the atmosphere that fog, clouds, snow and rain are produced. Observe and discuss. What is the similarity in the 3 pictures? All the above pictures show large-scale emission of smoke through different agencies. This smoke directly mixes with the atmosphere, disturbing the balance between the constituents of air. This is called air pollution. Harmful gases are given out through combustions of fuels in vehicles and in big industries, and also through incomplete combustion of fuels like wood and coal. As a result, air pollution is increasing day by day. Harmful substances released in air through combustions of fuels: nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, soot. Do you know? In metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Pune, or Nagpur, boards are displayed at places of heavy traffic to show the proportion of the various constituents of the air at that place. Do you these boards we can see amount of harmful elements in the air. Water. If hydrogen gas burns in air, it combines with oxygen and water is formed. We have learned about some characteristics of water in the previous standards. Observe and discuss. Water available on Earth is 78%. Out of that, 97% water is in sea and ocean, which is salty, cannot be used for drinking. Groundwater, water in ice form like a Himalaya, Antarctica is 2.7%. Water available for drinking is only 0.3%. We cannot use all the water on earth because seawater is salty. Some water is in the frozen state. A very small quantity of water is available for drinking. It is enough for all living things. Land. Land is seen in the form of stones, soil, big rocks. It is not flat everywhere. It is hilly in some places and flat in others. All terrestrial animals, including man, live on land. Some terrestrials dig burrows in the ground for shelter. This means that they use land for fulfilling their need. We also use land for farming and for building houses and roads. We make use of plants and animals in the forests that grow on land. The minerals, crude oil, and natural gas obtained from the earth, land, are very important for us. It means that land is an important resource. Let us see exactly what land is made of. Let's try this. Take a transparent plastic bottle, a handful of soil, some stones, sand, some dry leaves, and water. Cut off the upper tapering part of bottle, put the rest of materials in the lower part and add water. Stir the mixture thoroughly and put it aside. Observe it the next day and answer. How does the mixture in the bottle look now? Do you see layers in it? What is the scene in the different layers from top to bottom? Put all answers in our comment section. The land on earth also look like this if a top to bottom. Pipeline is being laid in your neighborhood. Observe carefully the pits dug for this purpose. You will see some layers under the land surface, as shown in the accompanying figure. If the land has mature soil, the topmost layer is formed by the decomposition of the remains of plants and animals. This layer is called humus. It is usually found in dense forest. The land below this is full of sand, soil, small stones, worms, and insects. Soil and pieces of bedrock are found below this layer of land. This soil is immature. Further below this layer, the proportion of soil decreases and that of rock increases. This is the layer of bedrock. The main minerals in the soil are derived from these rocks. That is why soil in different regions is different. The color and texture of soil are both determined by bedrock. The process of soil formation. The soil on the land is formed by a natural process. The biotic components of soil are supplied through the weathering of the bedrock due to the heat, cold and water of the sun, wind and rain respectively. The bedrock breaks down into pieces. Stones, sand and soil are formed from these pieces. Microbes, worms and insects are found among them. Rodents like mice and rats are also found here. The roots of the trees growing on the land also help weathering of rocks. The process of soil formation is slow and continuous. It takes about 1,000 years for a 2.5 centimeter thick layer of mature soil to form. Soil can get destroyed in a short period due to floods, storms and human activities such as mining. That is why it is necessary to conserve soil and to prevent erosion of land. The best remedy for this is to increase the green cover of the land. Erosion of land is reduced if grass, trees and bushes are grown in it. Let's try. Obtain specimens of soil from various places in your surrounding, such as your own yard, a garden, hills, river, banks, fields and rocky ground. Note the differences in the specimens with respect to color, feel, texture and the size of the particles. Do you know? Humus is the layer formed on soil due to the decomposition of dead plants and animals by microbes. Humus supplies the nutrition to the soil. Humus is also important for aerating the soil and for holding water in the soil. The proportion of humus in the upper layer of good fertile soil is about 33% to 50%. Forest on land got buried underground due to the great upheavals that took place on the earth many ages ago. After that, the process of formation of fossil fuels from the remains of living things took place underground. We get fuels like petrol, diesel, kerosene, paraffin and other useful materials like tar and wax from the fossil fuel called crude oil. Living things use land, water and air available on earth and so does man. However, the portions of these resources that are actually put to use are very small as compared to the whole earth. Look at the following table. Land is 29%, potable water or fresh water is 0.3%, oxygen is 21%. Even in these small proportions, the resources shown in the above table are sufficient for all living things. Only it is very necessary for man to control his greed. In other words, he must use these resources judiciously with the awareness that they are meant for all over living things and not just for mankind. Institutes at work. India Meteorological Department IMD was established in 1875 for studying the weather in the Indian subcontinent. The main function of this institute is to observe the weather and to make weather forecasts. This institute also conducts research related to changes in weather, makes forecasts about rains and studies the developments related to global warming. We get fuels like a petrol, diesel, kerosene, paraffin, and other useful materials like a tar and wax from the fossil fuel called crude oil. What we have learned, the elements available in nature which fulfill the basic needs of living things are called natural resources. Air, water, and land are important natural resources. Soil has both biotic and abiotic constituents. There are many constituents of air such as nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, inert gases, water vapor, and dust particles. The ozone layer is a protective shell of the earth. Natural resources should be used carefully and sparingly. Let's do the exercise. Fill in the blanks. First, the layer of ozone gas absorbs dash dash rays that come from the sun to the earth. The answer is ultraviolet. Second, of the total water available on the earth, fresh water forms dash dash percent. Answer is the 0.3%. 3. Both dash and dash constituents are present in the soil, and the answer is biotic abiotic. Why it is said that first, the ozone layer is a protective shell of the earth. Answer is the ozone layer is a protective shell of the earth because it protects earth from ultraviolet rays that comes from sun to earth. Second, water is alive. Answer is no living thing can survive without water. Therefore, it is said that water is alive. Third, seawater is useful even though it is not potable. Answer is we get rain only because seawater gets evaporated in a large quantity. So many plants and animals live in a seawater. Therefore, seawater is useful even it is not potable. Match the following. See the table. In that we are having options group A, group B. First is the carbon dioxide and the answer is plants and food production. Second, oxygen. Answer is combustion. Third is water vapor. Answer is rain. Fourth is microbes. The answer is generation of soil. Name the following. First, constituents of the biosphere. Answer is animals and plants. Second, biotic constituents of soil. Answer is insects, rodents, microorganisms. Third, fossil fuel. Answer is kerosene, petrol, diesel. Fourth, inert gas in air. Argon, krypton, xenon, neon. 5. Gases that are harmful to the ozone layer. Gases that are harmful to the ozone layer. Answer is chlorofluorocarbons, carbon tetrafluoride. True or false? First, land and soil are the same things. Answer is false. Second, the water in a lake is called groundwater. And the answer is false. Third, it takes about 1000 years to form a 25 centimeter thick layer of soil. And the answer is false. Fourth, radon is used in decorative lights. And the answer is false. Draw and label the diagram for a proportion of various gases in the air. First is a nitrogen is 78%, second oxygen 21%, third argon 0.9%, four other constituents of air 0.07%, 5 carbon dioxide 0.03%. I hope you like our video. If you have any query, please comment or DM to Instagram. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe our channel and also share.